Learn to live in the moment. Embracing your subconscious mind means you have to accept living in the moment. A lot of people have a tough time living in the moment. Either they are tortured by the past, or they're frozen stiff by worries about the future. But if you want to have a chance at taking full ownership and control of your subconscious mind, you have to take control of it with the present in mind. In other words, be aware of the present moment. Your mind should be focused right here, right now. Be fully conscious as much as you can. Get rid of sentimentality and delusions. There are many different types of delusion. The most delusion is that we think that we should act a certain way or have a certain bearing, because that's what other people around us expect us to do. It's some sort of protocol. It's some sort of unwritten rule that we have to follow. You can't handle your subconscious mind that way because it's deep down in you and it's personal. You have to deal with it in the rawest and most immediate way. It's not going to be pretty. There's going to be a lot of memories there that you have been avoiding. They're probably going to freak you out, but you have to take control of them. You have to take ownership of them. This is no time to put up appearances. This is no time to try to live up to other people's expectations. Forget that. This is you. You're doing it for yourself. Because you know you're capable of so much more. You know you could be so much happier. Get rid of the worst form of delusion, regret. When you regret certain things that have happened and you feel sorry that things have turned out a certain way, what's really happening? Do you ever stop to ask yourself that question? What are you really doing when you're feeling regret? When you feel regret, you're constantly thinking about what should have happened, what you could have done, or what you would have done if things were different. What do these sentiments all have in common? That's right. You keep rehashing and replaying traumatic scenes from the past over and over in your head. That's like suffering a burn when you were a kid and then burning yourself again and again every time you remember that incident. A lot of people who go through regret are thinking, well, when I do that, I'm actually thinking about solutions. I'm thinking about alternatives. I'm thinking about healing. No, you're not. You're only doing this for emotional release. You're going through the motions, but you're not really doing anything tangible to free yourself from the tentacles of this nasty emotion. Do you see the difference? It's like you wanting to change the weather by choosing to chew gum. It doesn't make any sense. There's no connection, and the worst part of our regret is you're actually making things worse because those emotional wounds happened in the past. The past is never going to come back unless you allow yourself to get emotionally worked up about the past so it becomes vivid again. In many cases, it may have started out small or almost insignificant, but as you grew older, you started reading too many things into it, and you started blowing up its emotional impact. The end result? You're more miserable now about it. Stop doing this. Understand what you're doing. You're doing this for emotional release. However, that's not the solution. That's just as worthless as daydreaming. For example, you have a tough time paying rent. You have no money to your name. Every single day you almost get fired from your job, so you daydream about you becoming rich. You daydream about living in a big house with amazing cars and traveling all over the world. The daydream doesn't really solve your problem in the here and now, but it does give you an emotional escape. Who wants the sting and humiliation of the landlord knocking on your door demanding the rent? Who wants to hassle with the supervisor telling you that you're screwing up and you're just one step away from getting fired? However, instead of confronting these head-on by looking at actual workable solutions, you daydream about an alternative life where all your current problems are gone. You get the emotional release, but not much else. This is mental and emotional candy. It doesn't help you. The same applies to regret. It doesn't help. Learn to trust yourself. Stop second-guessing yourself. When you're dealing with your subconscious mind, it's going to be rough. You're going to think that there are so many things there that you'd rather not deal with. There are so many things there that are simply impossible. No, that's just an illusion. They seem impossible because you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself enough to change. You don't trust yourself enough to make the right steps at the right time to produce the right outcome. In other words, this is your self-esteem talking. You have such a low view of yourself, and that's why you feel incapable. Other people have overcome that fear and tapped into their fullest mind. And that's why they live life to the fullest. If people can do that, why can't you? You're not much different from them. The only difference really is attitude. Catalog your subconscious mind. As I have said earlier, list down all your fears. List down all the things that are making you guilty. List down all the things that are making you anxious. List down all the things that are making you sad. List all the things that you think you remember that have a profound emotional impact on you. Also list down the crucial turning points in your life that led you to where you are. Now, once you have all this information, you're ready to come up with a circumstantial investigation of your subconscious mind.